The Dolphins' offense used to be the kind of thing that made defensive coordinators wake up in cold sweats. Explosive, unpredictable, relentless. In 2022 and 2023, it wasn't just talk. 87 plays over 25 yards, the fourth most in the league. That's not a system, that's a machine. Then 2024 showed up, and what was once lightning turned to flickers. Just 19 plays of 25-plus yards. Last, bottom of the barrel. Behind Cleveland. Behind everyone. That's not a bad month. That's the entire season collapsing into something unrecognizable. 19. The worst since 2007. And that season, we don't talk about that season unless we're trying to make a grown man cry. But here we are again, staring into that kind of statistical abyss. And the question burns. How does a team go from rocket fuel to fumes in 1 year? This isn't about a drop in execution or a few bad games. It's deeper. Something cracked. Multiple things, if we're being honest. Start with the obvious, injuries. The kind that don't just take a player off the field, but pull the spine out of an offense. Tua was never fully there. 11 games. That's it. And of the 15 completions that went 25 yards or more in the air, Tua accounted for 13. When he wasn't in, things stalled. Tim Boyle managed a fluke with Eskridge in Week 3, and Huntley had one flash with Hill in Week 17. But that's it. 2 outliers, and they're not even worth pretending were sustainable. Tua's absence was glaring. But Jackson's loss on the right side was like pulling the pin from a grenade and waiting. Before he went down in Week 9, the run game had muscle, 133.9 yards per game. After, 80.4. That's not a drop, that's free fall. Sure, they stumbled into a couple long runs without him, but don't let that fool you. The rhythm died. The confidence died. What was once consistent push turned into cluttered lines and failed assignments. The kind of thing that leaves fans gritting their teeth and coaches pacing the sidelines. But even healthy, it never looked right. Defenses figured something out. They didn't have to blitz, didn't have to gamble. Just keep 2 safeties deep and wait. Miami saw more drawbacks against 2 high shells than any team in the league. Not by a little, by a lot. When the gap between you and second place, Cleveland again, weirdly enough, is that wide, it's not a coincidence. It's a strategy. A league-wide message. You're not beating us deep. Period. They weren't afraid anymore. And why should they be? The run game wasn't a threat, and if your line can't bully up front, there's no reason to bite on play action or bring a safety into the box. Just let Hill and Waddle run into traffic and hope the quarterback settles for short stuff. That's what they did. Again and again. And it worked. There was no consistent counterpunch. No inside runs to force adjustment. No perimeter dominance to stretch the field horizontally. It became predictable, and predictability in this league is a death sentence. You want numbers. They had 13 runs of 25-plus yards in 2023. In 2024, 4. Cut it to 20 yards, and it's still embarrassing. 8. Down from 17. That's not scheme. That's not bad luck. That's deterioration. And when your team's identity is speed, space, aggression, and you can't back it up, you lose the fear factor. Opponents settle in. Corners squat. Safeties relax. And drives stall. Yet somehow, they still move the ball. From Week 8 to Week 16, that brief window where Tua was active again, the Dolphins were a top 10 offense by multiple metrics. 7th in success rate. 3rd in EPA per drawback. 9th in points per game. So they found a way to grind. But it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't explosive. It was forced, meticulous, and most of all, unlike them. Watching it felt like a band playing the right notes, but losing the rhythm. Everything sounded right, but nothing felt right. So what now? The fix starts with bodies. James Daniels brought in to anchor the interior. Jonah Savaiania drafted to inject new life and fresh technique. Not magic wands, but meaningful upgrades. Add in Westbrook-Akine and Pharaoh Brown, guys who don't shy from physicality and might actually block someone on the perimeter. That matters, because if your receivers can't block, your outside zone dies. And when your guards get blown up, your quarterback gets jumpy. These things spiral, but new pieces only matter if you stop being predictable. The 2024 playbook might as well have been laminated. It never changed. Outside zone, quick outs, rinse and repeat. The occasional throw to Jonnu Smith was the only nod to variation, and let's be honest, that wasn't exactly keeping anyone up at night. If defenses don't see something new, they won't blink. Miami has to give them reasons to guess, to hesitate, to doubt,